Any challenges while doing yesterday's assignment? Fine. So while just going through, okay, I will start. Aditi, have you started recording?
Yes, Danish.
Okay, sure. I will share my screen. Yesterday I gave these assignments. So anyone facing any challenges while doing these assignments? So write a program, print all of them, evaluate. Okay. Yeah, this particular statement. Yesterday I missed few things. So while reviewing, I realized I missed these things. So one thing was about parentheses. We never talked about parentheses yesterday. No. So let me start. Idle. Yes. So this is the statement. Okay. So this will give an error as we have not declared I1, I2 or I3. So instead of I1 we will take 2 into 3 plus 4. Okay. So whenever we are using parentheses, if you see yesterday's document which I shared, yes, so these operators, these were having the highest precedence, multiplication, division, modulus. But whenever we give parenthesis, it will sit on top of this. Like it will have the highest priority. So since in bracket we have 3 plus 4, 3 plus 4 it will give you 7, and 7 into 2 will give you 14. Okay. So this was one thing I wanted to tell you about this parenthesis. And again, if we go through yesterday's assignment, numbers. Okay, then I think we are good. And yeah, yes, like one of the very basic, interview questions you might get, I have faced several times, is, which version of Python you are using, or which version of Python you have used in your project, which version of Python you are using. Okay, so you might have some, old versions also installed. So what do you need to go? You just go to your command prompt. If you have Python installed, you just type Python here. It will show you the version. So currently I'm having, 3.10. This is the version of Python I'm using. Okay. And another thing, yeah. So this was the version. I forgot. There was one more thing. And also there is one thing. Like we know that we generally we give a comment using a single line, right? This is for comment. Comment for better readability, better understanding. So basically, this is a single line comment. So what if if our comments expand to multiple lines? Okay. So whenever we have multiple lines, our comments are expanding. So rather than giving uh, two hash symbol at the beginning, what we can use is triple double quotes. Okay, when we give triple double quotes and then we print something. Let me see. Yesterday's file where I was saving it. Okay, no problem. I can link it. Okay, so it is giving us 2 and it is ignoring this line. So this is multi-line comment. And another thing, if you would have realized, how many people are there? 8 people. Okay. Another thing we have realized, see, this is the ideal shell which we launched. Okay. So here we give 2, it is printing 2. Okay. But the file which we have opened from this by going to file and new file, here if we give 2, we save it. So is this going to run or is it going to give an error?
Maybe error.
Error item. Error. Right, it will give an error. Okay. Oh, it didn't give anything. So it didn't give anything because we are not. It's not. It will not give error also because we are not. But it didn't print it. So I wanted to show the difference. That here, how it works is whenever you give anything, uh, it works like print, evaluate, and loop. Okay. Print, evaluate. So this is the default behavior of the shell. But here you need to explicitly we need to give that print statement. It will not print it. Okay. Yes. Okay. So like these were few things which I remembered I forgot to cover. Today for day 3, we are going to cover about conditional statement. Conditional statements. So we saw yesterday we have something called arithmetic expressions. Like these are all arithmetic expressions. You are doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, and we have something called Boolean expression. So your arithmetic expression, it can have infinite values. There can be so many values for this arithmetic expression. Okay, but for Boolean expression, we have only 2 values. Okay, that is true and false. And this T is in caps, rest and it's null. Okay. So, yeah. So if we see here the type of true, so it will give you a boolean type class. Okay, it's a bool. And if we want to assign this 2 equals to 12, okay, this won't work. As you see, error cannot assign to true because true is a reserved keyword, which we discussed previously also. Reserved keywords we cannot use for variable declaration. Okay. Yeah. Uh, so then we have so if we assign something a equals to true or q equals to false, then we give q. This q equals to false. This is a simple Boolean expression. Okay, q equals to false. This is a simple Boolean expression. Then we have something called compounded Boolean expression. Okay, so what is this? It's saying combination of two or more Boolean expression using logical operators. Okay, using logical operators. So we have to see what are these logical operators. Okay, so first, so for using if condition, uh, so these are the we check how we use this comparison operators. Okay, and this is our logical operator. Okay, and or okay. S- yes, so if you want to check what is the value of a q, so how what is the syntax of if condition? We use the keyword if. So if is also a keyword. Okay, if we try to assign any value to if, we'll get an error. Okay, so I'll take a new file. Yeah, so we use a keyword if, then we use the condition. We'll give the condition what we are going to test. Suppose we are going to test this if 2 is equal to 3. Okay, and then we give a colon, and then we hit an enter. When we hit an enter, our cursor is not going to the very first this uh, uh, to the very first space. Okay, it is going here. Okay, so this is by default. When you click, it will create an indentation for you. Okay, so if this is equal to this, it will print both the numbers are equal. Save it. It is not printing anything. Why so? Yes. So since both are they are not equal, so it is not printing anything. So it will go to else. Again, we have to go a colon print numbers are not equal. So we have a syntax error, unterminated string literal. So anyone can see what is missing in this program.
Quotation, no
Colon.
quotation. Yeah.
Save it, run it. So the numbers are not equal. Okay. So this is a very simple, if else condition. So generally we don't hardcode it. We just will give two values like this. A comma B. So even if we don't have an else condition in our program, so it should not give you any error. It is not mandatory that for an if condition you should have an else condition. Okay. So similarly, this is a compare. We are comparing the two. Similarly, I have created a list of other operators that we can use over here. So we have not equal to, okay, and not and equal to. So if we mention this, if A is not equal to B, print both the numbers are not equal. Okay, so this is just opposite of equality comparison operator. So this is going to print, numbers are not equal. Okay, then we have less than, greater than, less than equal to, and greater than equal to. So generally, these are the six, comparison operators which we generally use. So greater than will only check whether A is greater than B or not. But when we use greater than equal to, then it will also check whether A can be greater than B or equal to B. Okay. So this will return what? So this, whenever they check this, okay, so we get a value of either true or false. Okay. So these values, they will give a, they will return, a true or false. True or false. So if A greater than equal to B, so what it is going to return, what it is going to return here, this expression,
false.
false, right? So rather than writing this, if we write, this, if false, okay, if we write this, if false, both the numbers are not equal, okay, let's see what happens. So it is not going to print anything, because this will only be printed when the value of this is true, okay. Okay, so we have to, give a statement in order to for this line of code to execute. We have this condition to satisfy. The way here we should get true. Okay, so if we give if A less than B, okay, A is less than B, then it will be true. Then this will be executed. Okay, both the numbers are not equal. Whatever message you want to print out of this. Okay. Rest you guys can practice the other operators. Okay. So, so far you have any questions?
No.
Okay. So yeah, this was quite simple one. Now I will give some compounded expression. And here, it's not that we cannot do other thing. Here we can even write if A plus, 1, okay, is less than uh, mm, B plus 2. Okay. So A plus 1 is 13 and B is how much? 13. 13 plus 2 is 15. Okay. So still, A is less than B. So we can, have this kind of expressions also. We can, do any this. But it is better, we calculated previously and then we put the value here. Okay. So, yes. So what is the yes. It's, there is that notepad. Yes, so here, what is the syntax of I wanted to write here? What is the syntax of this? If condition, and after that we have a, and then here goes our code. Okay, this is for simple, if block. And I have tried to put this. Are you guys aware of flowcharts like this? Flowchart is very important to understand. If you are doing, complex, if you are doing solving some complex problem, if you can visualize it like this in a flowchart way, okay, then it will be easier for you to solve the problem. Okay. So for example, in this flowchart, so it is just checking, divisor. Okay. Divisor means, the number with which you are dividing. Okay. So it simply says if is divisor not equal to 0, then do the division and print the result. And if it is false, if it is equal to 0, then it will not do this division. Okay. So what it is trying to do here is, suppose A and B are there. Okay, so what it is checking, suppose we have to perform this operation. Remove this. We have to perform A by B. Okay. So what is the condition it is checking? So we are dividing A by B. It is checking if B is not equal to, if B is
Zero.
not. Yes, any questions, anyone?
No.
Okay. So if you compare this to flowchart, is divisor not equal to 0? We have used is if B is not equal to 0, then do A by B. Okay. Else, this is a circle. This is the end statement. Okay. Else we can print a message that division is not possible. We cannot divide a number by 0, something like this. Not number by 0. Okay. So tell me, is this program going to work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I think it should give an error. Worked. Okay. What if, if it is 0? Then which
Yeah.
block will be
Cannot
executed?
divide it.
Okay.
B. I cannot divide.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Yes. Why I thought it would give an error? I thought, this is an inverted comma over here, right? We had to escape it with a this escape character. uh, but since we have started, we have put the entire thing in double quotes, so it is not a problem. But if you would have used a single quote, then while executing else block, it will give an error, right? You guys remember this concept, right?
Okay.
We have to escape it, right? Escape character. You remember day one we covered this.
Yesterday we
Yes.
have covered it.
This backslash, right? We have to escape symbol. We have to give, right? Yes. Yeah. So yes. So this was this flowchart, and so what if if we have multiple conditions? Okay. Normal. It's not only like two options. We can have multiple options. Like I will give you an example. We are taking name as input. So we can give if name equals Srijit. Okay. Friend. Welcome. Then we can see. So this was if and else. So we have something called elif. Okay. If we have multiple options. So if name equals else is there in today's session. Sandeep Talha. Okay. Uh, and we have, let's copy the same thing here. Name equal half. So these are the three conditions I'm checking as of now, and finally we will have an else. I'm missing something here. Can anyone point me out what I'm missing?
Semicolon, elif, name equal to something. After you have to put semicolon, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So if we run this, I have to give an input here. So I'm giving here Sandeep. Type error. You cannot have like this. All right. So what is the error? You can remove this. If name is here, right? Basically, is not able to identify this. Then it should work fine. See, and here give and please enter the name on the module. Welcome Talha. Uh, okay. So this was multiple if else conditions, and if elif. So it is not necessary to have an else at the end. Okay, we can have just like if now we can give an if without an else. We can also have if elif, and we don't need to give else if we don't want. Like it is optional. It is not mandatory. Okay. Still, if we run this, okay, welcome spelling is wrong. Yes. So this was in if condition. Okay, so we have covered this if
Why we are
condition.
getting error before the name? We are meaning that we are
Here,
putting plus symbol, right?
right, plus
Uh,
symbol. Yes, yes, yes. So
we are getting.
plus generally we use this for concatenation. Okay, so if you would have removed this comma over here. Okay, if you would have removed this comma, and then if we would have put like this. Okay, or Srijit. Okay, then I think it will not give you an error. Okay, because when we give comma, okay, it stands for different variables. Okay, can be a constant, it can be a variable. Okay, so let's give Srijit and see whether without comma this will run or not. Okay, Reejit, Srijit, welcome Srijit. Okay, because when we give comma na, so this it will treat as a separate one variable, and this it will treat as a separate one variable. But since we
Okay,
don't have
okay.
something called plus name, okay, so that is why it was giving an error. Is it clear? So we have if condition, we have covered if else, else, and they can be and if uh if condition code if else, if only else, you can also have an if. Okay, now yes, for this is Boolean expression fine. This is uh truth table. Okay, this we studied in college when we are doing computer science engineering. Okay, so I will tell you about this truth table. So this is for if and else condition. Okay, yes or no. Comparison operators, this is truth table. Okay, so we have these operators and, or, okay, and not. Okay, how this works I will tell you. So suppose we need to have two conditions in our this program. I'll show you that. First I have to save this, save as variable, right? If save it, fine, close this. Create a new multi-line comments. This we can use multi-line comments system. So we are giving some random values. A equals to 2, A and B equals to 2 and 5. We'll give two more variables. Okay, C comma D 2541. Okay, now we are comparing if A is greater than, A is how much? A is 2, right? So if A is greater than, no, if A is less than B. So what this is going to return? A is less than B,
True.
it's written true, right?
True.
And we are giving an and condition here, okay? And A is less than D, okay? What this is going to return? First, this will return a true, okay? And this is going to return A less than T,
False.
false, okay? So if this is the print condition got executed. Print, okay, if condition got executed. I have not space else and information like this, true and false gives you false. True and false gives you false. I want to keep this in special quotes. I will mention here true and false gives you true. Done this. So we got the output true and false gives you false. Okay. So what we have, so this is basically, returning a true statement, and this is returning a false statement. So as per this table, if you see, so true and false. If you do an and operation, like and means both conditions should be fulfilled. Okay, and means both conditions should be fulfilled. So if it would have been if true and true, then the if block will be executed. If will be executed. Okay, if will be executed. Else else will be executed. So we have four combinations: true and true. So both are valid. So it will go to this if condition. If one of them is false, and we use an and operation, uh, then it is going to like true false. A and B gives false. Okay, false true. It give you false. True and true, then only it will give you true. False and false will give you false. Okay. So for example, and if this was for and, okay, uh, false and false. Both are false. Okay. So this you can treat it as a single, a single statement like this: false and false and false. If you do an and, you will get a false. Okay. Now we have something called or also. Okay. Or means if one of the conditions satisfies, then it will be okay. So if we write here true. So we will, when we'll do the assignments or we'll do the program going forward, then we are going to see like where exactly it is used in real cases. So now it might sound quite theoretical, but it is fine. You just need to understand this. When you will practice more, you will get a hold of this. Okay. So if you see true or false, okay, either one of the condition is true, then our if block will be executed. Okay. So if it is false and false, so none of our condition is true, so else will be executed. If false and true, then one of the condition is true, our if block will be executed. Okay. And if false and false, true and true, then obviously our if block will be executed. Okay. Uh, Another thing, this not operator. Okay, if not. So suppose one of our variable is a is already used. A equals true. Okay, and if we give here if va, so which whether it will go to if block or it will go to else block. Any guesses?
if block,
If block, right?
Block.
If we give a not of va, so
Else
not
block.
else block. So not means it will just reverse it. Okay, whatever value we will give, it will just reverse it. Invalid syntax. Where is which one is invalid here? I cannot spot it. Can anyone spot it? Which one is invalid syntax here?
not equal to,
If not symbol is this only. Oh, you see this? We have to give English word not. Yeah. Okay. So we have to give if a.
Mhm.
Okay. Even if you give a this, this will not work. Fine. So this not is this not. Okay. This is that is not. I thought this will work like not equal to one. Fine. So this is done. So this you have to just keep in mind about this truth table. Okay. So after this, so yes, and there can be truth table. Then there can be nested conditions also. Okay. So suppose there are two things which we want to test. Okay, suppose we want to test first thing is we want to test that that program, a simple program, it should have statements and functions. It's a random thing I'm seeing. Okay. So if it is having statement, if it is having a statement check, complex, make it a simple one. So first I will write the code, then I will take some example. Okay. So suppose if if true, okay, you can have a nested if also, no? If true, and print something. Nested if else print else. So within an if block, suppose we have any condition, okay, first that is fulfilling this condition. Suppose I say if a is greater than or less than 100. Okay, this is your first condition we are checking. So if this is true, okay, then we have to check whether a is an even number or not. Okay, so we can write here nested if and a is even number. Okay. And nested else and a is odd number. So
Modular division, right?
yes, so you can give here, yes, you can give a modular division. Yes. Yeah. So nested if a is less than 100 and a is even number. A is less than 100 is odd number. Okay. You just give a declare a and make it, suppose you make it 11. And if we have saved it, if you run it, so we see nested else a is less than, oh, we have not given that 100, and a is odd number. So this got executed. Okay. And if we give here, so else we have right nested else a is less than 100. Okay. So after this also, suppose if it is an odd number, okay. So again we want to like check some other condition. Okay, then we can give here also if a is, if a is less than 20. Okay, then we can give here print a is odd number and less than 20. Okay, so we are not giving any else, just we are giving an else at the outermost if. Okay, for the outermost if, and it will print a is greater than 100. Right. So if we give a as 100, if we give as a is 11, then I think our this condition should get executed, right? First, it will print this nested else a is less than 100 and a is an odd number, and then again it will check this condition, and it will print this also. I am expecting these two lines should be printed. Okay, save it. So we see like the those two lines got printed. Okay, so this was nested if and else. We can have, n number of like this nested else, nested if. Okay, multiple ifs inside this. And this is if else, this is a very basic, fundamental building block of any programming language. In every programming language or any program you do, you will be using some conditions. So this if and else is a very important concept to understand. It's simple one, but it is important to understand. Okay. So do you have any questions till now?
The last else will execute if the first if condition is false, right?
Exactly, correct. The last else is, suppose if you give 110, so it will skip these lines because it is not fulfilling this condition. This is only, it will return a false, so it will not enter this particular block, it will enter here. Okay. See, a is greater than 100. Okay. uh and yes, so this was the thing. No doubt till now, right? Till here.
No.
Okay. So there's one thing, it is rarely used, but I just wanted to show you, called conditional expression. Okay. So suppose if there is only, a one condition we are checking. Okay. So here only I'm giving it. Sorry. So in this condition, if I just paste it, C equals to D if A not equal to B, L C. Okay. So I will tell you this in this prompt. I will type it for you. So basically, it's telling assign the value of A to 23, and it is using an if condition here. Okay. If A not equal to B. So we can manage give we have to use some other variable also. Okay, first we'll use, suppose we have mentioned A equals to 23. Okay, so I'm telling you assign the value of B as 24 if if B is greater than A. Okay. Else assign B the value of, if it is not greater than A, if B is less than A, then assign it 12. Okay. So this if else condition we are executing in a single statement. Okay. So B is not defined. Okay, sorry. So here it should be, yes, B is not defined. The name B is not defined. B is 24 if B is greater than A, else 12. Okay, we cannot, because this is not defined, rather than this, we can write it like this. Control C. A equals to 24 if A is greater than maybe some value 13, else 12. Yes. So A was 23, it is greater than 13. So now if you see, the value of A will be 24. Okay. So this is called conditional expression. So this is rarely used. I just wanted to show you. This syntax is quite, you will forget it very often. So I just wanted to show you, but there is no real use of this. Okay. So this will conclude our, conditional statement. Uh, and then we have, iteration. So this is also a very important topic. So in iteration, like there are two, we have we can use either a while loop here, or we can use a for statement. Okay. So what happens in while loop? I will show you that. So this is a flowchart for a while. Okay. So what it is doing, start set count equal to 1, and then we have a condition checking. If it is less than equal to 5, print the value, increment the value. If it is greater than 5, then it will uh, end it over here. Okay. So I will just show you through an example how this works. So this I am saving it. Save, get a new file. So suppose we have given I the value of 1. Okay. So this is called initializing. We are initializing the value of, or we cannot, if we don't want to write I, we have to give a logical name, so that everyone can understand. Okay. So we want to print, we want to print while we want to this count less than equal to 5. Okay. We want to print 1 to 5 over here. Print count. Okay. And then if we don't change the value of count, okay, then what will happen? Then yesterday we saw, right? We went into an infinite loop. Do you remember? Because see, first it will check this condition. 1 is less than equal to 5. It will give a yes. It will print it, and then it will make the value of count as 2. Okay. So next time again it will go to this count. It will check now the value of count is 2. Okay, no, it will check 2 less than equal to 5. Yes, it will print count. It will print 2. And then we change the value of 2 to 3. So it will check 3 less than equal to 5. So these three blocks, this while 1 and 2 and this 3. So these three blocks will keep on executing until and unless this condition is satisfied. Okay. Once the value of count becomes greater than 5, then it will come out of this loop.
Suppose if we run this program, we will get a output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, correct. So I just say it. While loop. So if you run this, we give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Suppose the count of value is 10. Okay. So it will check this condition while 10 less than equal to 5. Okay. So it will be a false. So it is not going to print anything, right? It is not going to print anything. Okay. So we have this while. While is also a reserved keyword. We cannot assign any variable to this while. And then we have this condition. This is called condition checking. And then we are giving a colon. And then we are writing our statements.
That count equal to count plus 1. This step is mandatory in while.
If we don't give this, uh, I don't want to run it now. You know why? Because yesterday when we ran, it went in an infinite loop, right? And I had to close this, so I was not able to share this thing with you guys. I will show you at the end after saving it, okay? If you don't, yeah, because if you don't give this now, then our this count value is same. It is not changing. So it will keep on printing count, 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 count. Okay. This is very important. If you miss this line, then it will go into infinite loop. Okay. So this was very simple while loop which I showed. And there's another thing. Mm, that shall I cover it? Definite loop and indefinite loop. Okay. So this is a definite loop, because it is we are giving this condition. This condition is stopping the execution. If we will remove this line, then it will be an indefinite loop. It will keep on going, 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 going. Okay. So this was for a while loop. I will show you for a for loop also how we can do the same thing using for loop. Then you will tell me the difference. Okay. count count count. Okay. So we have not ended this, uh, comment keys. So the syntax for loop is, for count in, there's a keyword called range. This is a function range. Okay, it can take one, two, three parameters. I will tell you the meaning of these parameters as we go forward. So right now I'm only giving, five, and we are printing count. Okay, so if we run this, let's see what we are getting. So we are getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you find the difference? Like what are the things we are doing in while and we are not doing in for?
Not initialized.
That is one point. We are not initializing it,
Not incrementing also.
not incrementing also. Very good. So here, when we write, when we are not initializing this variable count, it will take it from zero. Okay, it will take the value from zero. Okay, and it will run till, whatever number we are giving here, it will run just one less than that. Okay, it will run till 5 minus 1. That will give you 4. Okay. So suppose I don't want to print from zero. Okay, I want to print from 1. So we will give a 1 and a 5. Okay. So this will start printing from 1 and it will print 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This is our last condition. This will not, one less than this number will get executed. Okay. This 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose I don't want to print, sequentially. I want to print, after every two numbers. It will print 1, then it will print 3. Okay, and I'm increasing the value. 1, yes, print 1, then 3, then 5, then 7. Okay, because this is called step. Okay, I will write it. You can remember that. Okay, so we have three things in a range function. Okay, so if I mention this as A, B, and C, A, B, C. So A is the starting point. A is the starting, or we can say the starting number, anything starting index, starting number, or B is the so whatever you give in B, so B minus 1 will be the last number, and C is the called step, like it's a step value, like how much step it will take. Will it print? Uh, yes. So suppose if you give 3 here, okay. So any guesses what this is going to print?
1,
1,
4.
4. Yeah, 1, 4.
1, 4. What about 7? It will not print 7.
Yeah, 1, 4, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 4, 7.
So it will print 147. Okay. Yes, and starting number, and this default value is 0. Okay, default value. If you don't give the starting number, default value will be 0. Okay. So in range, what if we don't give anything here? If we keep it a blank here, okay, will this execute?
0 maybe.
No.
Ideally, it should
Yeah.
not get executed, right? It should have, see,
Uh,
expected at least one argument. You see this error? Expected at least one argument. And that argument, if you give only one argument, this is telling you that we have to print before this number, till this number. Okay, this
Yeah.
one step is mandatory here. Okay. So which one do you find better, a while or a for?
for
for, because we have less work to do in for, right? So in for there are a lot of varieties we can explore. Maybe once there can be while also we have some more things to tell you. For also we can have several fors. So we can see that also. One thing I wanted to show here. Suppose I want to, print something like this. This we did in our college days, okay? We want to print 1 star in one line, 2 stars in two line, 3 stars in three line, okay? So whatever value we give, suppose I give the value of, I equals to 10, okay? And now I will use the value of uh, I, okay? So it will print till 9, so we'll make it 11, it will print till 10, okay? So you want to print that star, okay? So if we just give a star over here in quotes, so is it going to print our desired output like this? 1, 2, 3. Anyone want to guess what this is going to print if you give a single star here?
Yeah, it will print like
Okay, so yes, so it will print sequentially. The number of times our loop will go, it will just print 1 star in each line. Okay, it won't print like that. So we have to make it will just print the number of time it is going, right. It will print. So we have to, if you remember, when we were discussing about this operators, okay. Uh, so that plus operator we can use for two purposes, right? One for string concatenation and one for normal addition, okay. And then we have a multiplication operator. This also had multiple uses, right? So we are going to make use of that multiplication thing, okay. We are multiplying this by which number we should multiply this with. So if you see initially, the value of count will be what? When it will go to the loop for the first time, the value will be how much? 1, right? Then it will again go to for, the value will be automatically incremented to 2,
yeah.
right? So
Yes.
if we just do a multiplication with count, then we can get like this. Okay, it's very simple, right? Now suppose I want to print, the reverse. Okay. The one thing I didn't tell you. So this is, we are traversing in a, we are we are traversing this. We are traversing mm, in forward direction. Okay. What if we want to traverse in backward direction? We want to. Oh, we already. Okay, we are already over time. Just I will end this with by this giving this example. Okay. Traverse in backward direction. So we'll do for count in range of 10 to 0. Okay, we are starting from 10 and we are going to 0, and we are decrementing each time. We'll give a -1 over here. Okay, and then rest will be same. Um, See this? The beautiful structure. So this is the key here. Okay, so we have to give the the maximum number which we want, and then we have to give one less than the number which we want, like 10 to 1 it will print, And here, if we have to give -1, if we remove this minus sign here, this won't work. See this? So we have to give a minus sign. Suppose, yeah, suppose I want to, rather than doing 1, I want to move it 2 here and also -2. We'll give the step value as -2. Okay. So run module. You see this, rather than it will print 1, 3, 5, 7 like that, because we are changing the value of step. Okay. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll save this file. Anyone having any questions, they can ask. We'll wind up the session as documents, day 3 programs, groups, iterations. So one question was, I think if we remove that increment operator from while loop, right? So comment will uncomment this. I need to uncomment this. I will just uh, copy this code. Just copy this code. Control C. Close this. We want to save. Yes. We'll close this shell also. We'll do it in a new shell. I'm afraid otherwise I will lost this also. And file, new file. Paste it here. Oh, I did not copy. I forgot to copy it. No problem. I will just equals to 1 while. Sometimes I give bracket because I do programming in Java also, so there's a confusion with this. So while a less than equal to 10, print a. We are not incrementing the value of a. Save it. Infinite loop. We don't have permission. Okay, I'm saving it somewhere else. Yeah, so when we run this, it will just keep on printing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 like that. Okay. When we run this. See this? It is just not stopping and just printing 1, 1, 1, 1 like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have done a Control D or Control C that stopped this keyboard interrupt. You see this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine. So that's all I had for today's session. Tomorrow we'll continue more with these, iteration loops and all. And if time permits, then we can do some challenges or we can start functions.
Yeah. Could please share that flowchart
I will
file
share. I will
module.
share all the documents with you guys.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Uh, yeah. Have
Thank
a
you,
good day.
Thank
Danish.
you so
Yeah.
much.
Bye. Stop recording.